So we've done $1.941 million in sales since 2024 on this store with print on demand without making ads, even though our primary traffic source is meta ads. So if you don't feel like you're good at making ads, if you're tired of making ads, if you're overwhelmed by making ads, this approach that we took for this store is going to be something that you can consider. So in this video, we're going to cover three main things pretty quickly. The first one is going to be 3 live brands running this approach that we are currently doing for most of their ads and getting enough traffic right now to make up to or more than 100 grand a month. And in some cases, $1 million a month. How to make designs that double as ads. And the last thing is going to be free skills and training just here on YouTube that you can get for your agents to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So I kind of revealed the core concept of the approach that we took here in that second point, which is this concept right here of don't make ads, make designs that work as ads. And the best way for me to explain what I mean by that is to actually look at the contrast between products that can use this approach and can't. So for example, on the left side here, I did a search on Amazon for a greens powder. And we'll see a bunch here that are pretty popular and they span, 8 to 9 figure brands, right? We got Jocko Greens over here by Jocko Willink. We got Groons, which just sold for $1 billion. We've got AG1 that's doing 9 figures a year or more. We've got Seed. We've got Kachava. We've got Bear Performance Nutrition. We've got Primal Greens, which are all multi-8, multi-9 figure brands. And the common thing across all of these products that we can see here when we look at the imagery is something that I like to call value visibility, right? And in this case, the value visibility is actually pretty low when it comes to supplement, right? Like if you just look at a package of AG1 or the bottle here for Strong Greens from Nick Bare, it's not really going to mean much to you, right? Unless you know who Nick Bare is, unless you know who his athletes are, unless you've seen their ads. The value of the actual product is pretty low when you just look at it, right? When you look at the physical thing. On the other hand, when you look at something like Sloth Hiking Club, right, that is in the print on demand space, and you look at their products, the value visibility is really high because when you look at the design, when you look at the shirt, you know right away whether you want to buy it or not, whether that's for yourself or somebody else that you're buying it for. So certain categories, right, such as graphic tees, print on demand, lend themselves really well to high value visibility, where you don't have to do a lot of talking, you don't have to do a lot of influencer marketing, you don't have to do a whole bunch of long form direct response copy or long form direct response videos to tell someone they need to get a shirt that says Out of Breath Hiking Society. If you're in this market, if you're in this niche, you know whether you want it at first glance. And so what I want to do now is show you some examples of this in action, where the concept of the design being the ad so that you don't have to make ads that drive traffic and sales for you actually happening out here in the wild right now. So we got Sloth Hiking Club that's run by the Heckmans and I think one more partner. They are doing 73K in monthly visits right now. So that's a decent amount. I would guess they're doing about 200 grand a month with this level of traffic or potentially more. We've got Musique Merchandise that is doing, 6.2K in monthly visits. So they're probably doing about 20 grand a month in sales right now. Again, and I'm presuming that they're sending the right type of traffic to their website. So not just clicks. And they're running conversion campaigns. Then we got Shanked Right, which is one of my favorites right now, because if you pull up their similar web stats, they just launched recently from June to July, and they're already at 12.5. And so they're probably doing around 36 to 50 grand a month in sales right now within their first month, which is great. And so if we take a look, right, at their respective ad libraries, you can check out the Heckmans over here. You can see a lot of the stuff that drives traffic to their website is not the type of ad creative that a lot of people are telling you to make. Not to say that you can't make it, but to say that if you don't have time or if you're not very good at it, there is another path, which is use the designs that you're making as ads. So if we come over here to Shanked Right, we can see like virtually of the 100 ads that they're running right now that are active as reported by Meta. If we scroll down, we can see most of them are just the same as the actual PDP images, right? The images that you would have to create no matter what in order to throw them onto your Shopify listing. And then we hop over to music over here. We can see the exact same thing. The large majority of what they're running is just going to be the simple flat lays. They do have other stuff going here. But again, if I were to be honest, for a lot of the brands that we see, for a lot of the brands that we've run before, you can get super far running just your flat lays as your ads. So if you do want to take this approach of not making ads, but rather making designs that double and can work as ads, it means that a lot is going to hinge on your actual designs. And that can be both a blessing and a curse, depending on how you look at it. It's a blessing in that your business will come down to you only having to be good at one thing, right? You only have one thing to become a 10 out of 10 or an 11 out of 10 of, as opposed to 5 different things. It's a curse in that going from, a 1 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 is a lot harder than it looks. For example, I'm wearing a Raptors shirt right now, and I know that every player on the Raptors, Kawhi Leonard, right? They make shooting 3-pointers look super easy. Like when they miss, you actually get disappointed. But if you were in their shoes actually trying to sink the threes, you would know how much harder it is than they make it look. So we might look at some of the best sellers, right, that we have over here with Sloth Hiking Club as an example and be like, you know what, these aren't that impressive, right? But I will tell you, based on their review numbers, these are ranging from doing between at least 200 grand in sales to up to 500 grand in sales. And if you look at these subjectively, especially as someone who's outside of the market, you'll be like, this is nothing special. This is super easy to make. Of course, I can become a 10 out of 10 on this like tomorrow. But it's a little bit more nuanced than that, which is what we're going to talk about next. So I'm a big fan of frameworks because it allows me to follow a process, but also it allows me to give agents, right, and AI the ability to follow a process. So the way that I think about it, in order to make solid designs that can actually sell and convert, in our most recent batch that I covered in another video, we had, I think, a 38% hit rate of at least one sale happening or more on 38% of the designs that we tried in the most recent batch. It spans, the way I look at it is it spans between a high level of uniqueness and a low level of uniqueness on one side. And then on the other side of it, we have how resonating is it? So is it not resonating at all? Or is it highly resonating? And so I think a good place to start when we talk about looking at this is looking at stuff that's highly resonating, but not really unique, because our minds can tend to go pretty easily in this direction where we can make stuff that people like, but just because they're going to like it doesn't mean that it's special enough for them to stand out. So a good example of that is going to be from Sloth Hiking Club over here. And they have one design here that hasn't sold that well. And we can infer that based on the public data on the reviews that are lacking on this product. It says life is good in the woods. There's no problem with this design, right? It's a nice phrase for this space, for this market. It doesn't look offensive at all when it comes to aesthetics. And so it can resonate, but it might not be unique and special enough in that it's going to get a high enough click-through rate in the meta ads auction to get the momentum that we need. On the other side of it, we've got Powder to the People, which is highly unique, but it may not be resonating enough, right? For example, there might just not be enough people in this world who resonate with that phrase to turn it into a bestseller that scales from month's own end. And then you can be not resonating at all and not unique at all. And I think this one is a good example. Scenery to, and then distant, impersonal. To me, either I'm reading this one wrong or there's just something weird about this one, like at the most foundational level, but like, I don't get it. Like to me, this is both not unique, not resonating, and also not very clear. But again, I might be wrong because I'm not in this space. I'm not a hiker. I'm not a slow hiker. I might be one day and maybe I'll understand this. But to me, this fits inside the quadrant of not resonating and also not very unique. And then we've got one of their best sellers that's probably done at least 200 grand in sales, if not more, maybe 500 based on the review counts. And also based on the positioning of what you can see when you sort by bestsellers on their website. So this one says, out of breath, hiking society, don't worry, I'll be there in a minute. And this nails it, right? At being unique and different from what they've seen and also resonating as well. That nice intersection, which is what leads to a design that can double as an ad so that you don't have to make ads, but you can still scale. So now that you know directionally where you want to go, right? You want stuff that is highly unique and highly resonating, not just resonating and not unique, and definitely not resonating and very low uniqueness. The question then becomes like, mechanically, how do we do that? How do we make it so that a higher percentage of the ideas that you or your agents or your team come up with land inside of this quadrant of being highly unique and highly resonating? I've got 3 resources for you that are all completely free here on YouTube. And they all each come with their own set of agent skills that you can give to your agents to help you with the execution. And I'm going to link to these videos down below in the description. So the first video is called Claude Analyzed 200,000 t-shirt sales and found what makes winning designs. And the second one is called Claude Made 40 POD designs that sold $5,000 in 7 days. These first 2 encapsulate the approach that we like to call making the flag. And the whole thesis behind that is that when you wear something across your chest, just like I am right now, like representing the Raptors, you're kind of like waving a flag, except you're not actually carrying a flag with you. You're just wearing it on your shirt. And so if you can make more flags for people to wear across their chest, you can hit a higher conversion rate when it comes to how many of the shirts that you're making, how many of the designs rather that you're making are actually getting sales and meaningfully scaling. And the last one is called Ugly AI T-shirt made $6,000 in 15 days. Designs don't matter. And that's because there's something else that matters more. So you have to watch that to find out what I mean by that. But essentially, the thesis under this video is that you want to make stuff that people feel like they don't just want to buy, but stuff that they never want to take off, kind of like a tattoo. And so these 3 videos cover 2 different approaches that help us with the same thing of trying to be both unique and resonating so that you can build a store or a portfolio of stores that can do something like this, between 2024 and 2026, 1.9 million without having to meaningfully invest in ads when it comes to the production of ads. And so check out the 3 links in the description below for those 3 videos. And if you want to watch another video that we put together after that, we have one more that I'm going to put up right here as the end cap or the end screen that walks you through the 9-step system that we take to scale to $1,000 in profit, to $10,000 in profit, and so forth, whether you're getting to that first month or you're adding to your existing profits. So watch the 3 videos below or watch the one that I'm showing right on screen right now.